All right, let's jump into another deep dive today. We're looking at a press release that really has me thinking about the future of education. Um, it announced a partnership that's bringing virtual reality and augmented reality to the University of Oradea in Romania.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is this isn't just some kind of experiment. The university is partnering with EON Reality, which is a global leader in VR and AR for education, along with their Romanian partner, QBQ Ltd. And that they're talking about using these technologies to really transform learning across a whole bunch of different subjects.
Okay, so let's break this down a bit. What exactly do these technologies bring to the table? I mean, I know we've all heard of VR and AR, but how do they actually change the way we learn?
Well, imagine, instead of just reading about anatomy in a textbook, you could actually dissect a virtual human body. Or picture yourself walking through the streets of ancient Rome while you're studying history. That's the kind of immersive learning experience that VR and AR can provide.
That sounds incredible.
hmm
But what about the technology itself? What exactly are EON-XR and EON-AI?
So EON-XR is kind of like a platform where you
Yeah.
can actually build and experience these interactive 3D learning environments. You can create simulations, virtual field trips. You can even design objects.
So it's not just about passively consuming content, it's about actively engaging with it.
Exactly. And that's where EON AI comes in. This technology uses AI to personalize the learning experience, so it provides feedback and guidance, but it's tailored to each student's needs.
So it's almost like having a personal tutor built right into the system.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, the AI can track students' progress, it can identify areas where they might be struggling, and then adjust the learning material accordingly.
And the press release mentions that faculty at the University of Oradea are already going through training to learn how to integrate these tools. That's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Investing in faculty training is absolutely crucial. I mean, technology is only as good as the people who are using it.
That's a good point. It's fascinating to me that the university isn't just throwing technology at the problem. They're really taking a thoughtful approach and making sure that educators are prepared to use these tools effectively.
Absolutely. And the press release even mentions that they're developing specific teaching strategies to make the most of VR and AR.
So it's not just about replacing textbooks with headsets. It's about really rethinking the way we teach and designing these truly engaging learning experiences.
Right. It's about using technology to enhance and complement traditional teaching methods. For example, a professor could use VR to illustrate a complex scientific concept and then follow up with a class discussion to really deepen understanding.
Okay, and what about the students? What kind of impact could this have on their learning? I mean, Professor Bonbio, the rector of the university, said something in the press release about equipping students for a digital world. What do you think he meant by that?
I think he's highlighting the fact that the world is changing so rapidly, and more industries are embracing technologies like VR and AR, so the skills that students develop through these immersive learning experiences, they're going to be incredibly valuable in the future job market.
It's almost like they're getting a head start on the future, right? They're not just learning about technology, they're learning through it and with it.
Exactly. And Dan Lajoskar, the chairman of EON Reality, he actually called the University of Oradea a beacon of innovation
Oh,
for embracing this technology.
wow, that's high praise. I wonder, though, while all of this sounds incredible, are there any potential challenges we should consider?
Yeah, that's a great question. One potential challenge could be access to the technology itself.
Yeah,
VR and AR equipment can be expensive, and ensuring that all students have equal access might be a hurdle.
that's a really good point. Not everyone has the same resources. And it would be a shame if some students were left behind. Hopefully the university has plans in place to address that.
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Maybe they'll offer scholarships
Yeah.
or explore financing options for students, or even create shared VR labs on campus.
Let's hope so. Because honestly, the potential benefits here are huge. I mean, just think about how much more engaging and effective education could be with these kinds of tools. I can remember struggling with certain concepts in school, and I can only imagine how VR or AR could have made a difference for me.
Right. It could be a game changer for so many students. And it's not just about making learning more fun, though that's certainly a bonus. It's about creating a deeper understanding and better retention of the material.
Exactly. And remember how we were talking about the future of work. This partnership could play a vital role in bridging the skills gap we keep hearing about.
Absolutely. As more industries adopt VR and AR, the demand for skilled workers is only going to increase. So the University of Oradea is taking a proactive approach. They're ensuring their graduates are ready for those jobs. Flaviu Bellant, the co-founder of QHQ, He even predicts that this partnership will set a new standard for immersive learning in the region.
That's a bold statement. But from what we've been discussing, it doesn't sound unfounded at all. This could be a catalyst for change, not just in Romania, but potentially on a global scale.
Imagine universities all around the world incorporating VR and AR into their curricula. It could revolutionize education as we know it.
It's not just about universities. Think about the potential applications in corporate training, professional development, even healthcare and therapy.
The possibilities really are endless. What's so fascinating here is that we're witnessing the early stages, a major shift in how we learn and acquire knowledge. This partnership between the University of Oradea, EON Reality, and CubeHQ Ltd., it could be a defining moment in that journey.
So what does all of this mean for the
Right.
listener? What's the takeaway here?
I think the key takeaway is this. The future of learning is immersive, interactive, and personalized, and it's happening now. The University of Oradea is leading the way. They're demonstrating how technology can transform education and prepare students for the challenges and opportunities of a digital world.
And as we've discussed, this isn't just about Romania. It's about a global trend that has the potential to reshape how we learn, how we work, and how we interact with the world around us.
And this partnership raises an important question. Will other institutions follow suit? Will other institutions follow suit?
Yeah. Will this be the spark that ignites a global educational revolution? It's a fascinating question to think about. It's almost like we're at a crossroads.
It really does feel that way. We have this incredible technology with the potential to make learning so much more engaging and effective and accessible. But there are also challenges to overcome and important questions to consider. How do we ensure equitable access to these tools? How do we prepare educators to use them effectively? And how do we make sure that technology doesn't overshadow the core principles of education?
Those are all crucial points. This partnership is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But it's just the beginning of a much larger conversation. What stood out to you the most from this deep dive?
For me, it's the University of Oradea's commitment to not just adopting technology, but also rethinking pedagogy. They're not just throwing headsets at students. They're developing new teaching strategies and training faculty to leverage VR and AR in meaningful ways.
That's a really important distinction. It's not about technology replacing teachers. It's about technology empowering teachers to create even more impactful learning experiences.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this partnership so exciting. It's a glimpse into a future where technology and pedagogy work hand in hand to unlock the full potential of every learner.
It's a future where learning isn't confined to textbooks and classrooms, but extends into virtual worlds and augmented realities. And it's a future where education is personalized, engaging, and accessible to all.
That's a powerful vision, and it's one that I believe we can achieve if we continue to explore, innovate, and collaborate, just like the University of Oradea is doing.
So to wrap up our deep dive, let's recap the key takeaways. We've learned about a groundbreaking partnership that's bringing VR and AR to the University of Oradea in Romania. This partnership isn't just about fancy tech. It's about using technology to enhance learning outcomes, bridge the skills gap, and prepare students for a digital future.
And perhaps most importantly, it's about inspiring other institutions to follow suit, to embrace the possibilities of immersive learning, and to reimagine what education can be in the 21st century.
And as always, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. If you could learn anything through VR or AR, what would it be? What skills would you want to master? What worlds would you want to explore? And what experiences would you want to have? Let us know in the comments. And until next time, keep diving deep.
Will other institutions follow suit?
Will this be the spark that ignites a global educational revolution? That's a fascinating question to ponder.
Yeah.
It really does feel like we're at a crossroads.
It does.
We have this incredible technology at our disposal with so much potential to make learning more engaging and effective and even accessible. But we also have challenges to overcome
Yeah.
and important questions to consider. How do we ensure equitable access to these tools? How do we prepare educators to really use them effectively? And how do we make sure that the technology itself doesn't overshadow, the core principles of education?
Right. Those are all crucial points.
This partnership is definitely a step in the right direction, but it's just the beginning of a much larger conversation. So what stood out to you most from this deep dive?
For me, it's the university's commitment to not just adopting the technology itself, but also to rethinking how they teach. They're not just handing students headsets. They're developing new teaching strategies and really putting in the work to train faculty to use VR and AR in meaningful ways.
Yeah, that's such an important distinction. It's not about technology replacing teachers. It's about technology empowering teachers to create these really impactful learning experiences.
Exactly. And that's what makes this partnership so exciting. It's a glimpse into a future where technology and pedagogy work together to really unlock the potential of each learner.
It's a future where learning goes beyond just textbooks and classrooms and extends into these virtual worlds and these augmented realities, and a future where education is personalized, engaging, and accessible to everyone.
It's a powerful vision.
It is.
And it's one that I truly believe we can achieve if we keep exploring, if we keep innovating, and if we keep collaborating, just like the University of Oradea.
So to wrap up our deep dive today, let's recap the key takeaways. We learned about this really groundbreaking partnership that's bringing virtual reality and augmented reality to the University of Oradea in Romania. And this partnership isn't just about some cool new tech. It's about using this technology to actually improve learning outcomes, to address the skills gap that we hear so much about, and to equip students for a digital future.
And maybe even more importantly, it's about inspiring other institutions around the world to follow suit, to really embrace immersive learning and reimagine what education can be in the 21st century.
Absolutely. And as always, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question. If you could learn anything through VR or AR, what would it be? What new skills would you want to master? What worlds would you want to explore? And what experiences would you want to have? Let us know in the comments. And until next time, keep diving deep.